Welcome everyone. Today's special session is for the content creators who are moving from I do this for fun into this may be actually a business. I'll explain making a hobby into a business to you through a simple roadmap. It is not meant to be scary or overly technical once you have gone through this webinar. As a content creator, you know that your hobby does not feel like a hobby anymore when too much money is flowing in and when too much time is being spent on and you started to hire people, you start to look around, suddenly you feel like you have done something wrong because your finance is a mess. You are just simply make money. Do not let that to be part of your hobby to business journey. You want to walk this journey with balloons and celebrations and the lighthearted with your taxes. So get some basic tax accounting tips from here and to be a tax organizer. And on top of that, you are a successful content creator. Woo! Should be listening to this webinar. I will say YouTubers, streamers, TikTokers, and podcast bloggers and influencers, and that creator makes earning extra money. Creators who felt messy with the income and the expense and are ready to get organized. You should be here. Creators of all sizes, not just full-time creators, influencers. If you have started earning from ad sponsorship, affiliate links, tips, subscriptions, merch, or even free productions that tied to content, this topic matters to you. The webinar still is relevant even if you are not earning much yet, but you are actively building with goals of making money. The earlier you build a good habit, the easier tax time and the business growth will be for you later. When is it still a hobby? And when does it start looking like a real business? In this decision, a lot of it is in your head. A lot of it is intention matters. What is your intention? Is profit is a motivator for your creativity? So once profit motivates matters, that changes from hobby to business. Business like behavior matters. You negotiate and you tweak and you want to make sure that whatever you do, even though you don't like it, but you did it because you can make more money. Hobby and business activities are treated differently for tax purposes. That is why IRS cares whether this is your hobby or it is your business. Yet something is treated as a hobby, losses may not be deducted. Like your business loss can be deducted, but not your hobby loss. But your hobby income is taxable just like a business income. What is the signs that you should notice so that you know you're being treated as a business? The signs are you are earning money and you expected income to grow. You invest time and money intentionally and you market yourself and your brand. You also want profit and not just fun. Even though you have a full-time job and you still put a lot of hours to create and you still making that a business generating activities, that means that is the sign that is a business, is not a hobby. Even though you may argue that, well, my revenue is very small, so it doesn't really matter. It matters. If the revenue is still small, intentionally effort matters. Content calendar, audience growth plan, equipment purchases, price decisions at all points towards to the business decision. When the creators start making choices based on profit, not just passion, the creator should start thinking like a business owner, not to wait until you are big enough to get organized. If making money is part of the plan, business habit should be part of the plan as well. If you are a business, what are the basic structure options that you have? Many creators began in a simplest structure. operating in their own name, with their own social security number, as a sole proprietor. That is common and often perfectly fine in the early stage. LLC may help with legal separation if you are a single member LLC. So LLC can come in once you start signing contract, do things like that. It separate the legal responsibility from tax responsibility. LLC will change how you pay taxes if you have partner. So if your LLC is a partnership, the tax is different. But if your LLC is just you, a single member LLC, then you only did the legal separation, taxes is the same. From LLC, you can become S Corp. That's another structure. From S Corp, you could completely drop everything and to become a C Corp. Business entity evolves with time, with the amount of money you made. So business entity evolution is part of the growth for content creator. Be sure to follow our webinar and listen to the tax structure evolution for content creator on Saturday. The structure is important, right? But clean records and a good habit matters regardless of the structure type. Creators should get tax legal advice before setting up or changing the entity, especially once income becomes meaningful. What changes once you are a business? You have the business owner's responsibility. That's what changes. Once activity is a business, creator need to track all income sources, not just the obvious one, every income sources. For example, platform payouts, sponsorships, and affiliate commissions, digital product sales, appearance fees, tips, and merchandise. Many creator payments arrives with no tax taken out, which catches a lot of content creator off guard. So if you are used to getting a paycheck from your job, the taxes has already been taken care of largely. It is that mindset might set up this trap for you, so you are not paying any taxes when you got these payments from your affiliate commissions, from the sponsorships, from the platform payouts. And you must be ready for that by planning. For all of the money you made, you have to pay some taxes. So that can get you scared because you have no amount. You don't know how much. So that is where we needed you to be a business person by being responsible to track your expenses as well. So we say that once you are a business, important to separate your business spending from your personal spending, because your business spending will reduce your business income. Then we can calculate how much taxes you're going to pay, right? Ideally, you should have two separate bank accounts, one for yourself personally, the other one is for your business only. Then you should have credit card or a debit card designated for just business use only. The business owner need to file additional tax forms compared to someone who just has a regular job, okay? And a good record keeping is what makes these filing manageable, accurate. If you have a good accounting, you do that better. If you don't have a good accounting, you're just shooting in the dark. Creators need to set aside part of each payment in a separate saving account so the tax money can come through. You can pay it quarterly. Once it is a business, you may need to make estimated tax payment during the year instead of waiting to the end of the year. There's other filing requirement when you are a business as well. You need to file additional things once you are a business owner. If you're a hired employee, you need to file payroll taxes. If you hired overseas contractor, you need to have a form W8BN ready for all of your overseas contractors. File company tax returns. If you set up tax structure to make your creativity a company setting, you file company tax. Or you need to file your personal tax return with a Schedule C because that is your sole proprietor. Or single member LLC reporting. This is changing a lot, right? I hope I'm not overwhelming you. I know the artist, guess what? I have a child who is an artist, so I understand. I myself, when I was much younger and I actually was doing manga at that time in Chinese, we call that 小儿书, and I'm into that. So I understand creators. So you really are looking at these finance, looking at the accounting, looking at the taxes, goes, man, I wish I didn't listen to you. I don't want to come to this webinar, but I want to say to you that just listen. Even if you don't want to do it, you can find other people to do it. Check me out on Community CPA. We help you, and I understand what you're doing. And if our accounting work can support you to grow bigger and bigger, are we happy? Yeah. So, even though we are accounting firm and we got a lot of rules, regulations to tell you need to follow, but I still say that the simplest approach is the best approach. So you don't have to make yourself going through crazy trying to be a real accountant. Don't try QuickBooks and don't try anything. Just use Excel. You do not need a perfect system on day one, but you do need a consistent system, like tracking expenses in Excel, right? Here's my recommendations for simple habit. Separate your bank account, spreadsheet your expenses, set up a cloud folder for all your receipt, and every month compare marking your receipt, making sure that you tell what you are doing with those receipts. Spending money is okay, but must be related to the business, right? If you buy a gear, software, travel, or items you purchased, you should have receipt. And on the receipt, you should explain how that related to your business. And a funny stories, so many years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, one of the restaurant got audited. And on the restaurant receipts, there are baby diapers on there. The restaurant owner happened to have small babies as well. So the auditor obviously highlighted those expenses and disallowed it. So why would the restaurant need baby diapers? And I went back. I took a picture of their bathroom because in their bathroom, there's a baby diaper stack for the customers. So they have one stall with the baby diaper thing. So that's for the mother and the baby. So they bought those baby diapers for that public use bathroom. So I went back to the auditor, showed the baby diapers that they paid out of their personal credit card, and also showed the baby diapers that was bought on their business credit card. So, that convinced the auditor that, oh, yes, right, that's okay. I understand. What did we do? We not only say the diapers is in the bathroom for the public use, we also can show that the diaper was purchased on different credit card. So that is how important that is for you to separate your business spending versus your personal. Maybe you had a party to sell your product, so you bought a whole bunch of groceries. But if your groceries come out of the business credit card, that's a business expense. You have to have a reason why you're buying groceries on business credit card. But if you have groceries on your personal credit card all the time, just once in a while you have it on the business is absolutely for business purposes. So organizing your income by stream so they can see what is actually working, right? The reason I want to make sure you know that right now the 1099K is everywhere. Your payers and your sponsors, they actually deducting what they give you as a marketing expense. So in their business, it's expense. So for your business is income. And you want to make sure that those income, the ads, affiliates, sponsors, products, all of these membership stuff, they're separated because your 1099 will have to match to it. Okay. Clean record helps not only with taxes, folks, but also with pricing, budget, and a growth decision. If you know your expenses, you know your income, you know how to increase your price, you also know how to deduct them. Common pitfalls for creators. One of the biggest mistakes is mixing everything together and trying to sort it out at the tax time. And the other biggest problem is never file taxes. Don't I have people like that? Absolutely. I have content creators come to us, did not file taxes for the last 3 years, but in the first year, they really don't have any much revenue. So he didn't pay attention. The second year got a little bit over 100, and he thought, I'm too busy with content creating and I need to continue make money. So by the time they arrive here, they're making over $1 million, but we have 3 years behind. Plus this year, 4 years behind. So those are the mistakes because IRS is not blind. They know your income because all of the 1099 you have in your hand, IRS also have another set with them more. Some of those sponsors, payers, they issue those things to IRS, but they didn't even tell you. So creators often forgot small income streams like affiliates payouts, tips, gifts tied to the promo. Platform micropayment, those adds up. Not every purchase is automatically deductible, just because it is a content related, but you have to have a clear business purpose. So those are big pitfalls. Buying expensive equipment too early can create cash flow stress, right? Especially when income is not that big. Of course, some of our content creators just have their mom and dad pays everything. So I also understand that. But still, if you have a business, you buy expensive equipment, you can deduct the equipment, then you have a loss. So the money you make, you don't need to be so worried about it for a while, but you need to report it because the IRS didn't know you bought a big machine. IRS didn't know those machines is working for your art. Ask for help, okay? Before there is a problem, not after those problem is already becoming a huge issue. I'll show you what kind of a huge issue can be. Doing the finance and taxes right is the only way for you to go big and stay big. The fail for content creators are catastrophic, as online money making is easily stoppable once your platform is being banned. So we have seen that. Here are examples of millionaires content creators. They find themselves in IRS crosshairs because self-employment tax and high value brand gift and also business deduction like writing off personal clothes and haircuts situation get escalated fast. Overnight, the online business went down to zero. Tyler Bossetti is the channel name is Boss Lifestyle. It's a real estate influencer who was sentenced in April of this year to 6 years in federal prison, and he committed tax fraud. Bill Omar Caraziello, and this one is Omi in Health, that is his channel, a high-profile YouTuber flexer who showcased massive luxury car collections. In 2023, he was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison for massive unpaid tax liabilities. So those are creators that lose their business to tax fraud. And if you keep on making millions, not paying taxes, not organizing your financial affairs, yeah, it's tax fraud. Look at this person. Was charged, sent in prison on November 14, 2025 is a popular YouTuber accused of tax evasion over Ferrari purchase. Becoming a business does not mean losing the fun and the creativity. Okay, I want to say this to our content creators because I know what you're thinking. Having a business means protecting what you are building and making smarter decisions as money enters the picture. You do not need a perfect setup immediately. You just need a simple, consistent process. First, decide whether you are intentionally building this to make money or not, because that mindset drives everything else. Second, separate finances as soon as possible. Open up a business account and run your personal things in your personal account and set up credit card or debit card just for your business spending. Number 3, start tracking income and expense now, even if the revenue is small. Number 4, set aside money for taxes on regular schedule. And you may say, well, Ying, how much? What do you want me to set up? So this is the simple formula I give you. Take your income, minus your expense, and whatever you got at the end times 20%. Put that away. Build support around your business. You're a content creator and you're not doing your business alone. And find a CPA, like community CPA. Find attorney. We also have attorney. We have a business attorney. Her name is Stephanie Howe from Stanford Law School and practiced in business for the last 4 or 5 years. So she is here with us full time. So you can, contact her to be your advisor. At a minimum, you should have a advisor around you to make sure that you're building this business to keep. Finally, once you are a business, you're constantly making money. Your structure would need to be changed. Follow me to our next webinar, okay? Where we will explain to you when you need to jump ship from sole proprietorship to LLC, from LLC to S Corp, or altogether become a C Corp. Keep in mind, your tax structure should change when your money reaches certain level. And we have that magic threshold. I will save that for Saturday and come follow us on our next webinar. All right. This is our website, folks. We're not strangers. We have been doing the same thing. We have been supporting content creator community for the past many, many years. The firm is about 30 years old. And with this is our technical folks. I circled these two individuals, Sang Mo, who is a partner, Tiffany Wang, who is a tax compliance manager. So two of them are your tax genius. You can rely on them. And did you see Eileen, one, and these two? They are your genius on sales tax matters, payroll tax matters, and on accounting. Dan Kim, the second person here, he actually is our client service coordinator. He is a partner and he really is your speaker person. If you have any desires and things wanting to be our clients, Derek is our IT partner. Last but not the least, Dr. Howe, Steve Howe, partner. He leads our legal team. Stephanie reports to him. And he is actually the compliance master for the government regulations and audit. Like if you get audited, come to Dr. Howe, and he has a strong team to help you. And I have 2 books I wrote. The 8 a.m. was in 2019. The 10 a.m. was in 2023, just after pandemic. So I'm working on 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. 2 other books. This is our YouTube channel, folks, Community CPA. You've got to find us and subscribe to our channel and making sure that you contact us. And if you write comments to me, I am the one answer your question. Okay, I check the comment side on our YouTube channel. At the very end, I want to say the webinar is for educational purposes, right? It is not for tax, legal, and accounting advice to you, specifically to you. Just be sure to review any decisions with us before you do anything, even though you felt like you understand everything, but still, it is a good advice that you hire a professional to be along your side, make your back straight, make you productive. I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.